Sahana bhavatu Sahano bhunaktu Sahadiryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. We'll chant the Shanti Mantra. You can repeat after me. Om Apyayantu Mamangani
Om Apyayantu Mamangani
Vak Pranashchakshushrotramatho Balamindriyani cha sarvani
Vak Pranashchakshushrotramatho Balamindriyani cha sarvani
Sarvam Brahmopanishadam
Sarvam Brahmopanishadam
Maham Brahmani Nirakuryam
Maham Brahma Nirakuryam
Ma Brahma Nirakarot
Brahma Nirakarot
Anirakaranam Anirakaranam me astu
Anirakaraname astu
Tadatmani nirateya upanishatsu dharmaha
Tadatmani nirateya upanishatsu dharmaha
Te mai santo Te mai santo
Te mai santu Te mai santu.
We'll chant the mantras that we have covered. You can repeat after me. Keneshitam padati preshitam manaha
Keneshitam patati preshitam manaha
Kena pranah pratamah praiti yuktaha
Kena prana pradamah praiti yuktaha
Keneshitam vachamimam vadanti
Keneshitam vachamimam vadanti
Chakshushrotam ka udevo yunakti
Chakshushrotram kadevo nati
Shrotrasya shrotram manaso manoyata
Shrotrasya shrotram manaso manoyad
Vacho havacham sa upranasya pranaha
Vacho havacham saupranasya pranaha
Chakshushashchakshurati muchya dhiraha
Chakshurati muchyatiraha
Pretyasmalokadamrita bhavanti
Pretyasmaloka amrita bhavanti
Natatra chakshurgacchati
Natatra chakshurgacchati
Navagacchati
Navagacchati
No manaha
No manaha
Na vidmaha
Na vidmaha
Na vijanimaha
Na vijanimaha
Yathaitadanushishyaat
Yathaitadanushishyaat
Anyadeva tadviditat
Anyadeva tadviditat
Atho aviditat adhi
Atho aviditat adhi
Iti shushruma purvesham
Iti shushruma purvesham
Yenastadvyacha chakshire.
Yenastadvyasa chakshire.
Okay, so we covered until here, until this mantra, right? Now, so what is Kenopanisad telling us? That the self is Shrotrasya Shrotram, the ear of the ear. Manaso Manoyat, the mind of the mind. Vacho Havacham, the speech of the speech. Saupranasya Pranaha, the breath of the breath. Chakshushas Chakshuhu, the eye of the eye. And knowing this, we will recognize that we are already immortal. We are beyond time. So can you tell me about this? No. Can we see it? Na tatra chakshur gacchati. Can't see it. Can I tell you about it? Navag gacchati. Speech doesn't go there. Can we think about it? No manaha. The mind cannot think about it. Can you teach it to me? Navidmaha. We don't know how to teach it. Navijanimaha. We don't know how to teach it very well. Yatha etad anushishyat. Why? Anyadeva tad viditat atho aviditat adhi. It is beyond the known and beyond the unknown. Different from the known, different from the unknown. This is the self. Think of everything we know, every single thing we know, from an object to a thought, to a concept, to a person, to an experience, to things in the world, facts, information. It is nothing that we know as an object. Is it unknown? No, it is not unknown, because it is us, ourselves. It is I, the self. So it's not known as an object, nothing that I know as an object, but it is not unknown, because it's I. It is I, my very self. It is not known in the sense that it is not a gross thing, manifest through the senses and the mind. And it also is not unknown in terms of vasanas. I don't know my vasanas, which are unmanifest. I don't know the future, which is unmanifest. I don't know what's going to happen in the world, which is unmanifest. It is different from the manifest. It is different from the unmanifest, because it illumines both. It is different from any type of knowledge that we know, and it's different from also ignorance. There are things which I don't know. It is also different from ignorance, because actually the self is not something that you have knowledge of or that you are ignorant of. You are the self. The self illumines both knowledge and ignorance. So in this way, it's different from the known, it's different from the unknown. If you just keep thinking about this, what is different from the known, what is different from the unknown, that is the self. This is how the teacher instructs it. Now, in this chapter, the rest of the verses are just commentaries on these first three mantras. So we are only doing the first chapter. The rest of the first chapter is commentary on what we've covered so far. So let us see that now. We are starting from verse number 4. Yadvachanabhyuditam
Yadvachanabhyuditam
yena vagabhyudyate
yena vagyabhyudyate
tadeva brahmatvam vidhi
tadeva brahmatvam vidhi
nedam yadidam upasate.
nedam yadidam upasate.
Okay, so from here, mantra 4 to number 8, which we will take up, it will tell you the same thing. The second line will be same. Tad eva brahma tvam vidhi nedam yadidam upasate. So this second line will be consistent. Mantras 4 to 8. So first I'll explain the second line so we understand the general idea. Then we will go through each mantra. So as I said yesterday, in our spirituality, there's two kinds of revelation. Two kinds of revelation, but we're only used to knowing or revealing as one kind. And I gave the example of the light and the room. So we are very used to when things are revealed as an object. Like when the light reveals the chair, when the light reveals the table, when the light reveals the floor. That's very easy for us to understand. Knowing as an object, revelation as an object. But nothing needs to reveal the light. Nothing needs to reveal the light in your house because it is self-revealing. That self-revealing is difficult for us to understand. So scientists cannot grapple with that. So they say that if you don't know it as an object, meaning it's not there. We are saying because we don't know it as an object, it is there. It is what illumines the object, and it is that which is self-revealing. So in our lives, we have to pay attention to the second kind of revelation, the one that's self-revealing, not the one that's revealing other things. Because when we pay attention to that which is revealing other things, we pay attention to the other things. So pay attention to that which is self-revealing. Self-revealing. So here, when it uses the word idam, idam means this. In that tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam yadidam upasate. Idam means this which is revealed as an object, it is not Brahman. Anything which I can see, hear, smell, taste, touch, anything which I can think of, it is not Brahman. It is not Brahman. So anything that is an object is not Brahman, but that very subject, he says tat. Tat here means the subject. Tad eva Brahma. That subject alone is Brahma. That subject alone is Brahman. Tvam vidhi. You know it. Meaning you know it as yourself. Know it as yourself. Don't know it as an object. Na idam, and it is not an object. Yad idam, which object upasate, that we do upasana on. So here, now some people might think, what is this? It is not anything that I do upasana on. Is this telling me to go away from bhakti? Because it clearly says Tad eva Brahma, that is Brahman, the subject, not an object, not anything which you do upasana on, not anything which you contemplate on. So should I stop all my upasana practices? Because it's not Brahman. So should I stop contemplating on God as a form? Should I stop my puja? Should I stop my japa? The answer is no. In chapter 12 of the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna asks Sri Krishna a question. What should I worship? The form or the formless? So Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi gives very nice answer. He says, are you with form or formless? If you're with form, you please worship the form. If you know your formless nature, you worship formless. So the idea is, bhakti is in the sadhana stages, bhakti is very useful for those who are stuck in body identification. So for people who are stuck in body identification, worship the form. Worship the form and use the form to go to the formless. And that's what Guruji also, how he answered us is, so which is right? Worship the form or worship the formless? He said, worship the formless via form. That's it. Worship the formless via form. Take the via out. Because most of us are stuck in body identification. Most of us are stuck there. Whatever we want to say, okay, yes, I'm beyond the body. Yes, one little pain is there. Boom, we're back in the body. So at the sadhana stages, it is true that bhakti and jnana are different. Because one is worshipping the form, one is knowing yourself as a formless. One is doing puja, japa, chintanam, dhyanam on the form. One is withdrawing from everything. One is using your senses to pray. One is withdrawing your senses and your mind. So at the sadhana stages, it is true that bhakti and jnana are different. But at the sadhya stage, at the ultimate stage, jnana and bhakti are one. Because what is the ultimate devotion? The ultimate devotion is identification with the beloved. When you identify with your beloved so much that you are one. And the ultimate of jnana is we are all one. So at the highest stage, at the sadhya stage, jnana and bhakti are not different. They are one. And Puja Gurudev says, the knower of the universe, the knower of the self, instantly becomes a lover of the universe. The knower of the self instantly becomes a lover of the universe. So here it's saying, it is true that Brahman is beyond the form, but worship the form to go formless. And how to lift that identity? First we start with Ekarupa. Ekarupa, a form of Bhagavan or Bhagavati that we revere, that we can connect to. Or Guru. Ekarupa, one form. Don't pick more than one form. One form. Because you only marry one person. One form. Finished. Ekarupa. Anekarupa means now I have that ability to see that form in all other forms. Anekarupa. So my Ekarupa, my Ishtadevta, my personal favorite god, MPG, we call it, is Shiva, let us say. In Anekarupa, I have the capacity to see Shiva in Krishna, Shiva in Devi, Shiva in Rama. I have that capacity. Then it goes to Vishvarupa, where we see this entire world as God. Vishvarupa. Where now that one murti that I have in my room, when I look at that murti, now I am not seeing Shiva. I am seeing the entire world is Shiva. He's Vishvarupa. He's everything. He's absolutely everything to me. Vishvarupa. Then I realize that he cannot be even limited to the world. Because he is infinite. The world is of the realm of time and space and object. But he is beyond time, he's beyond space, he's beyond object. So he must be formless. So Arupa. I understand that Shiva is Arupa. And I look at him at that formless reality. Then finally, Swarupa. That he is my own self. So when I'm now looking at the Murti, I see him as my own self. So from Ekarupa, one form, to Anekarupa, I see him in all forms. Vishwarupa, I see him in the entire world. Arupa, he's formless. Swarupa, he's me. So we don't have to get rid of any Murti. So don't take this the wrong way. Na idam yadidam upasate. We don't have to get rid of any murti, but we have to evolve our vision to know that that murti is me. The reality behind that murti is me. That's the highest vision. That's the highest vision. That I alone am. This is what this means. That don't limit yourself to thinking that God is an object. Because as I said, if we make God an object, then what happens? We are the seer, God becomes seen. Okay, I am the seer, God is seen, God is an object of my thought. That cannot be. So God is actually the seer, and I also am the seer. We are one. So Brahman is never something that will be an object. It will always be the subject. This is what it means. Tad eva Brahma. That subject is Brahma. Tvam vidhi. You know that. Na idam yadidam upasate. And not which we worship or contemplate on as an object. Another reading of this is, that is Brahma, that Brahma, tad eva Brahma, tvam is you. Know that Brahma, tad eva Brahma, tvam. That Brahma is you. Vidhi, know it. Naidam yadidam pasate. What unnecessarily we're worshipping. And what to talk of people who are worshipping the world? Some people also do puja to the world. Some people also worship wealth, worship power, worship all of that. That is not the self. The self is you. That is it. So what does the first part say? Yat vacha, that which, vacha, by the speech, anabhyuditam, it cannot be revealed by the speech. Yena vak abhyudyate, but by which speech is revealed. That is Brahman. So we saw that also, that which is not part of the speech, but by which speech can speak, but cannot be spoken by speech. Right? We saw that. So words will never be able to describe Brahman. Because we said everything falls in those 5 categories. Shabda, pravritti, nimitani. So words cannot describe Brahman. Brahman has no guna, quality, kriya, profession, sambandha, relation, jati. It's not a species, and rudi, convention. It doesn't fall into any category. Somebody might ask, but what about the Mahavakyas? We are going to study Manisha Panchakam. And we heard that when the Guru tells you, Tattvam Asi, that has the power to reveal Brahman. That Tattvam Asi, what is it doing? It is, the teacher, yes, those words have power. But remember, as I said, those words are only indicating to you that truth. You yourself will have to realize it. So the Mahavakya has the power to liberate, but which Mahavakya? The one that is internalized. Even in the story of the 10th man, I'm sure you all know that story. Okay, the 10th man was counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and forgot to count himself. When the teacher said, you are the 10th man, still nothing happened. He had to say, okay, I am the 10th man. Means that recognition has to happen. I am the 10th man. And then he falls silent. So those words can indicate. We can use those words to recognize, but after those words go, those words fall into silence. And in that silent awareness, that we are. So words can only reach up to a certain point. After that, the self alone remains. So even speech cannot go there. No speech can go there. Right? Now we will see the next one. Verse number 5. Yan manasana manute.
Yan manasana manute.
Yena hurmano matam.
Yena hurmano matam.
Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi.
Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi.
Nedam yadidam upasate.
Nedam yadidam upasate.
Yan manasa, that by which, by the mind, na manute, the mind can never think of it. Yena ahuhu, but because of which they say, manaha matam, the mind is called by its name. that alone is Brahman, you know it, and not anything that one worships as an object. Huh? So that which is not part of the mind, which makes the mind think, but cannot be thought of by the mind, that is Brahman. In in Mandukya Upanishad, there's a very nice question. Is this moksha? Is this moksha nitya or anitya? Is this moksha permanent or is it impermanent? If it is permanent, then why have self-knowledge? Why go through this path of shravanam, mananam, dididhyasanam? It's permanent, na? You are free. So why unnecessarily go through all of these practices? You are free. It's nitya. So no need to study shastra. And if moksha is anitya, if it's temporary, then what's the point? Who would want temporary moksha? So don't study shastra. So close the whole text, go home, enough. Then Adi Shankaracharya ji says something very nice. He says, it is like disease and health. Our state is health. But when disease comes, which is not our natural state, then we have to bring ourselves back to health, which is our natural state. In Sanskritam, the word for health is swasthatha. Swasthatha means swa, that's your stha, that is your being. Health is your natural state. In the same way, our natural state is freedom. Our natural state is being, it's freedom, it's infinity. That's why, now here in Seattle, there's so many hikes. Why people like to go for a hike, I'll tell you. Because when you go for a hike, these three elements, these three natures of Brahman are very evident. Sat, Chit, Ananda. When you go for a hike, you will see Sat. First of all, either you will be on a mountain that's so grounded, or you will see trees that are very, very grounded and so tall also, like Sat. You get the nature, it's connecting to your nature, get that Sat. Chit, because there's so much life. There's so much life in the flowing of the river, in the blooming of the trees, in the smell of the flowers. There's so much life. And when you're standing there, it's infinite. It's Ananda. There's no end. There's no end to how many trees you see. There's no end to the vast sky. There's no end to the water. It's infinite. So whenever we are in these places which make us feel infinite, it makes us think of our nature as Ananda. That is why we like these places. We like places where we feel infinity. That's our nature. That's our nature. So we don't like anything time bound. If they tell you, check out from a hotel is 12 o'clock. Anybody binding you to any time, we don't like it. But when it says unlimited Wi-Fi, very happy. Our nature is that. So our nature is we are free. But what is happening? We think we are bound. So our nature actually is nitya, but we think we are bound. So what is the mind doing? The mind is not bringing Brahman to us. That's our nature. The mind, that knowledge which takes place in the mind, is removing the notion that we are bound. That's what it's doing. The knowledge that takes place in the mind is removing the notion that I am bound. It's removing the notion that I was trapped, I was bound, I thought I was a body. It's removing this notion. But it is not capturing Brahman. That's why it says the mind cannot go there. Puja Gurudev gives this very nice story. That one time, this person felt that a mosquito got stuck in his ear. You know that story? Okay, felt that a mosquito got stuck in the ear. So he went to so many places and said, there is no mosquito that got stuck in your ear. We can't find anything. There's no fly. Nothing is there. We looked. Finally, he went to one doctor. He said, Doctor, I went to everybody. They're saying nothing is stuck in my ear. The doctor says, don't worry, I can cure you. I will put you to sleep and I will remove that fly, mosquito, whatever you say is stuck in the ear. What did the doctor do? He put that patient to sleep. He put a fly there in the ear. He put a fly. And then he took out that fly also. Then he woke the patient up. He said, see here, this is the fly that I took out of your ear. Now you're free. And he says, now I am free. Huh? So what is happening? There's no bondage. There's absolutely no bondage. But we feel that there's bondage. Okay, Upanishads will say, you're jiva, you are bound, you have ignorance, you have to gain knowledge, go gain sadhana chatushtaya, approach a guru, do shravanam, do mananam, do nididhyasanam, realize the self, now you are free, the fly is out. But what happened? Okay, there's no fly. There's no fly. Unnecessarily, we're doing all this drama. Huh? You first find out, okay, was there a snake or what? Good, there is a snake on the rope. Now, what will I do with that snake? How to treat that snake? Let me do upasana on the snake. Let me do research on the snake. How many lines the snake has? What is it? This cobra? Is it a python? The whole life will go on inquiring about the snake. Just turn on the light, yeah. There's no snake. This is what this means. Unnecessarily, our whole life becomes about the snake. I feel so much tension. I feel so much pressure. What the snake's feeling? Snake. Turn on the light. You are the rope. That's all. So the mind's role is very limited. It's to tell you that you are never bound. Stop being foolish. That's why the mind cannot go there. The mind has a limited role. You are not bound. Finished. That's it. All right. Next, verse number 6. Yat chakshusha na pashyati
यक्षुषा न पश्यति
yena chakshugamshi pashyati
येन चक्षुषं
Shipashyati Tadeva Brahma Tvam Vidhi
तदेव ब्रह्म त्वं विद्धि
Nedam Yadidam Upasate
नेदं यदिदमुपासते
Yat Chakshusha na Pashyati, that which cannot be seen by the eye. Yena Chakshugamshi Pashyati, but by which the eye sees. That is Brahman. So, that which is not part of the eye, but it by which the eye sees but cannot be seen by the eye, that's called Brahman. And that's why we said whenever we go to a temple, even nature, we go to nature, we see such beauty and vastness. What do? Close our eyes. Because that's our real nature. It's a moment where we remember, this is me. It feels right, it feels comfortable, it feels beautiful and natural because, it is me. That's why we close our eyes. It is me. So Brahman will never be anything that we saw or we see. It is that which makes the eye see. So sometimes when people are meditating, I saw this color, this pink, this blue, I saw this bright light. That's not Brahman. That's the aloo parotha that you ate. It didn't digest well. But that is not Brahman. It's not Brahman. It will not be anything that we see. When Dhruva got darshana of Bhagavan, what did he say? Okay, you are the one, that which is in me. He said, I'm standing outside of you. Okay, no, you are that which is in me. How beautiful. Yo anta pravishta. You are in my heart. So, what does this mean? When we truly love someone, when we truly are one with somebody, we never miss them because they're always here. If we miss Bhagavan, if we miss Guru, if we miss that reality, it means we've created a space. But when something is one with you, how can you miss it? You can't. It is you. Number 7. Yat shrotrena na shrunoti
यच्छ्रोत्रेण शृणोति
yena shrotramidam shrutam
येन श्रोत्रमिदं श्रुतं
tadeva brahma tvam vidhi
तदेव ब्रह्म त्वं विद्धि
nedam yadidam upasate.
नेदं यदिदमुपासते
Yat shrotrena, that through the ear, na shrunoti, one never hears it. Yena shrotram idam shrutam, but that because of which the ear is being heard. That alone is Brahman, and know that, and not that which is an object that we worship. So, that voice, okay, when I am sitting quietly, that voice, Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. Is that Brahman? No. And as I explained to you, anything that is voiced, that is the ego. Even if something says, I am witnessing my thoughts, I am paying attention, that is called ego. Anything that has a sound, anything that has a voice, anything that is even is a mental sound, a mental voice, that is called the ego. But when there's absolute silence, stillness, that which is aware of that, that is Brahman. When we were walking yesterday, I think Sujata ji and I were talking that she was telling me that there is unnecessary need for us to always have commentary. Once Swamiji told her, a commentary in our mind, that when we see something beautiful, also we have to say, oh, it's so beautiful. Hey, be quiet. We don't have to say, oh, so beautiful, oh, so lovely, oh, so nice. We don't have to say it. Just remain as you are in that moment. That's all. We have this tendency, we have to voice everything out. We don't have to. Sometimes in silence, we can understand everybody way better. There's a natural harmony that takes place, which transcends all sound. And sometimes that is the best thing. So anything, any sound that I am Brahman, I am awareness, I am this, that is not Brahman. But yes, those are important tools, important practices that we should do, important sets of contemplation we should do. But know that we are also to go beyond that. That is not Brahman. Okay? Now we read the last one. Yat pranena na praniti
यत्प्राणेन प्राणिति
yena pranah praniyate
येन प्राणः प्रणीयते
tadeva brahma tvam vidhi
तदेव ब्रह्म त्वं विद्धि
nedam yadidam upasate.
नेदं यदिदमुपासते
That which pranena na praniti, it is never breathed by the breath. Yena prana praniyate. That because of which the very vital air is breathed, that is called Brahman. So that which is not part of the breath, by which the breath breathes, but cannot be breathed by the breath, it's called Brahman. Now, this is very helpful when there is somebody dying, when there's a death. Because when there's a death, or when somebody's dying, when somebody's ill, what is our focus? Our focus is on they're going to lose their last breath. Huh? And when their last breath goes, I'm going to lose this person. This person will be lost. But what does it say? That's not the reality of the person. The person is not limited to the breath, but their reality is that by which the breath can be breathed. Focus on that. Focus on that. That's why in the Bhagavad Gita, what's the first thing that Sri Krishna said? That na anushochanti panditaha. The wise do not grieve. Wise do not grieve. Why the wise do not grieve? Because they never focus on the breath. They never focus on the life of this body. Their vision is what makes the breath breathe. That's why they don't grieve. Why we grieve? We focus on what we can see with the eyes, what we can hear with the ears, what we can think of with the mind, what we can speak with speech. This is our focus. But what is the focus of the person of wisdom? The eye of the eye, the ear of the ear, the speech of the speech, the breath of the breath. This is the difference between an ignorant being and an enlightened being. One is on the ear, the other one is on the ear of the ear. One's focus is on the mind, one's on the mind of the mind. One's focus is on the eye, other one is on the eye of the eye. So we just have to ask ourselves, where are we sitting? Where is our focus? Whenever we experience sadness, why? I'm sitting in the eye. I'm not sitting in the eye of the eye. Why am I feeling sad? I'm sitting in the mind. I'm not sitting in the mind of the mind. And this is the main teaching of Kenopanisad. Where should we rest? Rest in the self, the subject and not the object. Know the self as the subject, never the object. Go beyond. Know that you are already free. All that has to be removed is the notion that I am bound. So with this, we have completed first portion chapter of Kenopanisad. I thought these 3 days we just do this chapter is enough actually for life. Any Upanishad, meaning one mantra is also enough for life. But if we get this deeply, nothing more is required, really, nothing more. This much is enough actually. So let us read the first mantra, because that is our tradition, and then we will sit quietly for some time. So I'll read the first mantra and then you can repeat after me. Keneshitam patati preshitam manaha.
Keneshitam patati preshitam manaha.
Kena pranah pratamah praiti yuktaha.
Kena prana pratamah praiti yuktaha.
Keneshitam vachamimam vadanti.
Keneshitam vachamimam vadanti.
Chakshushrotram ka udevo yunakti.
Chakshushrotram kaudevo yunati.
Okay, we'll close our eyes for a few moments. We'll just reflect on these teachings. I'll chant the mantra. I'll give you some pointers, and then you just remain as yourself. Shrotrasya shrotram manaso manoyat vacho havacham sa upranasya pranaha चक्षुषश्चक्षुरति मुच्य धीराः प्रेत्यास्माल्लोकात् अमृता भवन्ति श्रोत्रस्य श्रोत्रम्. Go to the ear of the ear. Manaso manoyata, the mind of the mind. Vacho havacham, the speech of the speech. Sa upranasya pranaha, the breath of the breath. Chakshushakshuhu, the eye of the eye. Atimuchya dhiraha, pretyasmalokat amrita bhavanti. And departing from this world of the senses, recognize your immortal nature. So I will be quiet for some time. Keep going within. Any thought comes, go to the thought of the thought, meaning the source of the thought. Any vision comes, go to the source of the vision. Any sound, the source of the sound. Keep tracing it back to the source until there are no more thoughts and you remain just as you are, like space in the room, free from all thoughts. You remain as you are, self-evident as you are. That is your true being, which need not be attained. It just needs a tuning into. Right? So we'll all be quiet now. Remember that strength is always going within instead of out. So if thoughts are going out, trace them back within. Go to the source. Slowly bring your mind to Guru, Bhagavan. Seek their grace, blessings, to remain steady in this wisdom. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Gently rub your palms together, generate some heat. Cup your eyes, put them on your head to bless yourself, your face, neck, shoulders, chest, back, legs, knees, and your feet. And slowly, as you're ready, you can open your eyes with a new vision for a new day.